So I found out about this combo with androids and the Technomancer trait. If you pick up the Technobot, it will repair nearby buildings and mechanical beings, including yourself. The android we're starting with is a tier 1 android. It's the worst out of them all. In terms of its movement speed, it has 3.0 movement speed, which is extremely slow. I have allowed myself to choose 3 traits for it though. All androids have simple-minded, which does give them 20 bonus mood, and it makes it so they can't really do social that well. But on top of Technomancer, Technobot's also a dead shot, which lowers aiming time by 50%, increases shooting accuracy, and he's tough, which lowers incoming damage by 50%. I've also allowed myself to choose 3 burning passions, and to make it interesting, we have DSP over here, a pretty well-known content creator who did stumble across some hard times recently.
Something happened today, completely and utterly unexpected. Right in the middle of me streaming, I'm kicked out of the Twitch partner program. Inexplicably.
It's going to be hard to carry DSP as he can't really assist us in combat, and adding an extra colonist on the 500% threat skill that we're playing on is going to make enemy raids a lot harder. Here is the difficulty, by the way. We are playing with 0% disease frequency. I found that Void can give your colonists random diseases really early on, and I feel like that could kill off DSP or our other colonist Wings. Also, I lowered colonists insta kill down to 0, so they won't die from a random bad RNG headshot or something. They will still bleed really quickly, but we'll have time to save them. And the only other option I've changed is Scarier Rod down to 0, so if we get manhunting animals, we can skin them. But yeah, as you'll notice, DSP is currently unconscious, and that's because he has a toxic buildup extreme. Basically, his gout's flaring up.
Did your gout explode all over your equipment? Hopefully not. It sounds awful. No, it did not. That's not how it works. Gout does not explode.
And also, he does have a bad back.
And my back has really, at this point, pretty much almost 0 problems anymore.
DSP tells a story of his childhood and how he was a toxic child.
When I was a child, I was very different than the other children. I went to a comic book store one day with my parents, and the Wolverine figure was there, and it was expensive. It was like maybe, I think, 20, 25 bucks, when really the other figures only cost like 7, 8 bucks, so this one was worth 3 to 4 times more than a normal figure because of its rarity. And I turned to my mother and father and I said, guys, listen, I want that action figure for my birthday. Week 4, we go back. It's gone. We asked the store owner what happened. Someone bought it. So my birthday came and passed, and guess what? My parents go, we're very sorry, Philip, but we couldn't find the action figure. I said, I told you to buy the figure. Why don't you listen to me? And yes, I see someone asking in the chat, yes, my parents did have the money to buy it. They were just fucking stupid.
Later on in life, he became a hypno-cult leader. He was able to convince his followers to donate $100 a day to him for 276 straight days. This was known as his vest streak, and every time he would reach that $100 donation goal, he would put on a vest. DSP needs the most impressive bedroom. After buying one house, he bought another house, and when financial times got hard for DSP, he ended up not just selling his new house and moving into his old house, which it seems like that would have been the obvious play, but he somehow convinced his fan base to pay for both houses, which actually goes perfect with his jealous trait as it increases negotiation ability and trade price improvements. DSP also does this thing on stream every once in a while, which kind of creeps people out. And one trait that DSP has that has kind of bit him in the butt in the past is that he's abrasive. He will always say exactly what's on his mind, and it tends to rub people the wrong way, which is why he has so many detractors. After losing his partnership, DSP abandoned his wife and came out of the closet and moved in with Wings of Redemption.
I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, totally gay.
Gay guys love me.
They made for a power couple as they already shared a lot of the same fan base anyways, and together they were able to increase that fan base exponentially. Wings, much like DSP, has been known to say exactly what's on his mind, and he's got a lot of flack for that. Much like DSP, he has a lot of detractors, and some make daily videos on him. He's also talked a lot about his struggle with food and his inability to sustain a good mood, even when things look pretty good for him, like he's got his own house that he's paid off, he's got a wife, he's got a pretty big internet following, etc. In multiple streams, Wings has talked about how he wants to quit streaming and become an EMT. So future Wings has done that, and he's become a paramedic, but in his childhood, he was a VidTube star. He did not gain over 1 million followers. His YouTube channel does have 417,000, and like I said earlier, people make daily videos on him. If only he had partnered up with one of them and made them his full-time editor, who knows how many subscribers he could have had. Wings, like DSP, is going to start with an extreme toxic buildup, and yeah, it's going to be up to Technobot to carry them both. For some reason, Technobot did start with a bolt-action rifle with 19 rounds, which is going to help him out early, but it's not going to matter too much much as he only has 19 rounds, and we have no way to make ammo right now. So my last run failed, as even with the 500% threat scale and using Void as a storyteller where you get raided potentially like even twice every day sometimes, the game got too easy once I recruited too many casters, and like the Lightning Mage ultimate's too OP. So I'm gonna set a few parameters for this run, aside from having to carry DSP and Wings, which having them in the colony is going to increase our raid size, because raid strength is based off of how much stuff you have and really heavily on how many colonists you have, especially if you have over 3. Also, since Wings and DSP don't really like to share the spotlight, we're only gonna allow us to recruit other robots, and the only caster robots that we can recruit are other Technomancer robots. Speaking of casters, we are using World of Magic's Challenge Me mode, which basically just makes enemy mages smarter, and pretty soon after they get knocked out, they will die. The only thing we're changing around here is AI mage marking, so we can see which of the enemies are casters or not. I don't feel like that's really necessary for difficulty. One big move I'm making on this run is I'm adding RimThreaded to my mod list, and I've been doing a bit of testing. It seems to work okay. The reason why this mod is huge is it allows RimWorld to take advantage of all your cores instead of just one. I've been doing some testing with this mod, and so far I've not had any crashes with my mod list. We're just gonna hope things stay that way, and yeah, we're gonna get right into it. I did actually remove the toxic buildup from Wings, because the reason why DSP has it is his gout is flaring up, and I also did remove DSP's bad back, as he says his back has gotten better. With the removal of his bad back, DSP was actually able to get up, even though he still does have toxic buildup. And it looks like we already have insults going out by DSP. He has insulted our robot. Thankfully, the robot doesn't really care too much. It's not really gonna affect his mood that badly. Our first priority, as you may notice, is we're deconstructing this ruins. With a lot of the blocks we got from doing that, we're having Technobot create a door next to this ancient tome, and the reason being is whatever's inside here could be hostile, and I actually have no idea what's inside here, so that's why I put the door there. And it is a mech. It looks like it's just one carpenter mech, and there's a lot of nice stuff in here. So the purpose of the carpenter mech is to rapidly disassemble enemy fortifications. This might have been not the best mech for us to run into. That being said, we now have a choice to make. So Wings and DSP are creating a caravan, and we could have Technobot join their caravan, or do we have Technobot just tank the carpenter mech and open up these crypto sleep caskets with his bolt action rifle? I think the safer play here is to run, and whoa, this thing is destroying this door quickly. And okay, it actually doesn't look super hostile. It's not chasing us. I like how it cleanly disassembled that door and it gave us the 25 blocks. Usually if you destroy something, it will destroy a lot of the materials that were used to build it, but this ancient mech knows how to very cleanly disassemble something. And okay, the mech was kind of sitting in place for a little bit, not sure what it wanted to do, and now it's charging us. It's pretty odd behavior for a mech. Usually if they're hostile, they will just straight up charge, but yeah. Oh, and it's disassembling this door for us. That's actually really nice. We can claim all of this stuff and it's going to disassemble it for us. This actually is one of the better mechs we could have hoped for. So maybe the mech's not hostile after all. It just wants to help us deconstruct things. And yeah, there it goes. It's deconstructing the rest of this ruins for us, which is great. The reason why this is going to be nice is because, well, A, we're going to claim this other ruins nearby to the southeast, and it should go aggro on that ruins, hopefully. And yeah, that's exactly what it's going to go do. Good mech. While it does that, we're going to have Technobot sneak on by, and we're going to have him head into this tome and grab some of these really nice items. And okay, actually, never mind. It's going for the insects. That's even better. Oh, it's trying to deconstruct the hive, maybe? No, it's actually fighting them. Did some good damage to this Mega Scarab, and this one also got pretty owned by it. It's gonna bleed out 9 hours. We don't really care either way. In the meantime, we're gonna have Technobot grab all these items in the tome, and we're gonna have Technobot join up with Wings and DSP, who already were making a caravan in the event that there was some really high tier mechs in that tome that were hostile. Sometimes when you open up ancient tomes, all the mechs will just charge at you no matter where you are on the map. And in that case, since we were already making a caravan and we were already ready to go, it would not have been run over. But yeah, the Technobot is meeting up with them. In the meantime, the carpenter is not looking like it's really okay, and it's actually dead, and it set some of these insects on fire. I'm pretty sure these insects will remain docile. Not that it really matters, because Wings, DSP, and the Technobot are now on a caravan heading over to this nearby industrial colony of Colome with all those items we just picked up, and that's really good because Wings and DSP are low on food, and our Technobot is getting pretty low on energy. So first things first, for some reason we had 5 smoke leaf joints with us as well, even though we were starting with a naked brutality start. I think those were on the robot, I'm not sure why, but we will sell those, and we do have a few other items to sell, like this Tech Prof Sub Persona Core, which will instantly research the tech that that we're researching. So I've not gone over the starting tech we're going to use for this run. I have a mod that allows us to start with 0 tech, and then I've added on a few pretty necessary techs to that. Like we do have passive cooler, electricity, and then over here we have microelectronics already researched so that we can build a comms console early. That's going to be pretty essential to this run. But aside from that, we have no techs researched, and our research is going to be random. Because we're doing random research though, I have increased our research speed by 5 times. And so yeah, that's what's going on with our tech. I don't think we should need this tech prof sub persona core because we don't know what tech we're even going to research. And the psychic healer lance will heal the target's injuries, but it will not heal permanent wounds or restore missing body parts. I don't think we need this right now either. The question is, do we want to keep this psychic pacifier? It will convert a colonist to join us. We would like to keep it. Let's see if they have anything for us to buy though. And oh, they won't actually buy our plasma sword that was in the tome. This thing's actually really good. It's a persona plasma sword, and it has 2 actually good traits. Whoever uses it will get a mood increase, and whenever they kill with it, they will also get a mood increase. It's pretty rare that you find persona weapons with 2 really good traits like this, and the DPS is also pretty good too, and it will set people on fire. Since these guys won't buy it, we will just hold on to it. One thing about persona weapons though is you have to bind them to someone, and after you do that, no one else can use them, so I don't think we're gonna bind it to anyone yet, as no one that we currently have is good at melee. That brings us up to 1462 silver that we can spend with these guys, and the first thing we're gonna buy is some meals. We need food right now. We're gonna try to get 15 survival meals, and then all the other stuff that we want, such as a bit of industrial ammo. We're gonna buy 80 of it, and then a good amount of wood as well, as no one has good planting skill. We can carry about 300. With the rest of our money, I'm gonna buy 85 cloth, as I believe that's the perfect amount to make Wings and DSP a fur double bed. We don't have the ability to make regular wooden double beds right now. We don't have the tech for it. And with the rest of our money, we're gonna buy as many packaged survival meals as we can carry, and then with the final remaining silver, we're gonna buy some chocolate. Still naked and not in the best of spirits, Wings, DSP, and the Technobot made their way back home. It did take them quite a while because they were carrying a lot of wood, which was slowing them down quite significantly. We did finally make it home, and Wings and DSP are in terrible moods. Wings is in a major break risk. We're gonna have the Technobot try to make them a cloth fur double bed. One thing I did not account for though is the chance that Technobot has to botch. It's only 8% chance though, so we're probably okay. Oh, and that's actually really lucky. We got a Psychic Soothe for males, which is going to boost all of our moods by 16. Well, except for the Technobot, I guess. But yeah, we were successful in making the double bed, and now Wings and DSP can sleep together. That's going to make them really happy. We'll also deconstruct some of these urns, and Technobot can wall this room off. It should be a really nice bedroom once he's done. And yeah, the bedroom is somewhat impressive. If we just remove some of this junk out of here, it actually might even be nicer. Deconstruct that urn. There's another one over here. Oh, and there's actually 2 tables. We can deconstruct one of the tables. And yeah, the great thing about the Technobot is it doesn't need to sleep. So while Wings and DSP are getting some much needed shut-eye, the Technobot will be working around the clock to basically just get things done. Oh, and that's cute. They were getting some lovin'. Wings and DSP both get a +8 mood for got some lovin'. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Void. He has not given us any raids yet, and he gave us a Wanderer Join event, which from what I've seen with Void is really rare. That being said, I did say in one of our parameters we can only have bots join us, and so yeah, we have allowed him to hang out for a few days, but now is actually his time to go, as we did finally build a comms console, and using the RimThreaded recruitment site, we're gonna trade in Picarza for 432 silver. RimThreaded also does happen to have a couple androids, a tier 4 android actually, who apparently cannot do fighting though, so that's kind of useless. They also do have this tier 1 android who is actually really good at cooking and medical and intellectual, and can do animals. This guy overall is really solid. He does cost 2k though. Oh, and then there's also Tyler. I didn't notice this guy. He is decent at animals, and he's got 8 in shooting. But yeah, I would really like to be able to pick up a read for 2100, and we might actually be able to do that pretty easily. So I was waiting to get raided before I open up these caskets, but who knows at this point when Void's going to send us a raid, so we're actually just going to open them up. And there is more hostiles than friendlies, it looks like, which is what I was worried about. That being said though, we're gonna look at their traits, and unfortunately none of the hostiles have god traits, and of course the friendly would have the highest market value of 4k. The reason why I wanted one of the hostiles to have a really high market value is because we can use our psychic pacifier in one of them, and then we can sell them off to RimThreaded. I'd rather not do it with the only friendly Noah. That being said, we're just gonna hope Noah does work here, as yeah, okay, they dropped a, whatchamacallit, shield. And Noah is gonna run, it looks like. Noah's getting owned, actually. Noah's probably dead. Yeah, Noah's dead. One thing I will say about using the Psychic Pacifier on Ox is he is wearing marine armor that has a value of 2k, and his marine gloves are worth 440, and he has a synthread t-shirt and pants. If we use the Psychic Pacifier on him, that will ensure that gear does not get tainted, and we can sell it off for full price. He's also inside of a shield generator, so yeah, we're gonna use it on him, and he did join us. He did get brain damage though, because yeah, he's burning. He got a 2 damage scar on his brain. And of course he runs out of the shield. Why wouldn't he? Yeah, that's great. and he is not putting out the fire on himself, and he's burning, just constantly burning. And there we go, we knocked out Daniel though, that's really good. Let's get Technobot in here to maybe put the fire on this guy. I've never seen someone just constantly burn like that and not put themselves out. Oh, he's got self-10 disable him. There we go, we hit Mao. We actually knocked Mao out, that's good. We'll have Technobot extinguish. The guy is not extinguished it on fire on himself, I'm so confused. Oh, and we also knocked out Daniel as well. And then Tommy over here, one of the ancients, is bleeding, and she had some stuff too. And then we might as well capture Tommy as well. It should probably, yeah, it's gonna piss off the ancients. But if we now use the RimThreaded recruitment site, which we should actually use the free trial, and a free applicant will be sent to us soon. But yeah, if we use it with DSP this time, I think we used it with Technobot last time, and we got not as good of a price. We can sell off Daniel for 530, and the rest of these guys are not in the greatest health, but we can sell them off for 125 each. We could let them heal up to full, but I don't think it's worth it. We don't really have a prisoner cell set up yet, and plus we should be able to scrounge up enough silver to be able to afford that tier 1 android. So with one of our mods, we're able to call in traders for 500 silver. We called in a combat supplier, and they do have a good amount of money, 3,200 almost. And these guys will buy all of our power armors, and they also have this mechanite under armor that's actually really good. It will suppress hunger, and it increases immunity gain speed in case someone gets sick. Just from selling those power armors, that right there is gonna be enough to be able to pick up a Reed, the tier 1 android, and we could also pick up Tyler if we wanted to. The dude has tendon animals and he can shoot as well. I don't think it'd be a bad idea. And alrighty, on day 15.6 we're getting our first raid. About on day 13 I switched storytellers over to Igor and Vader, and it only took him about a day to generate us a raid. We're getting attacked by medievals from two sides, and it seems like a fairly easy raid for the amount of colonists we have and the fact that we're playing on 500% threat. As you can see, this group is probably not going to make it. They're getting hung up on these insects, and yeah, they're going to run. So this other group of raiders came from the east, and Wings actually left the safety of our walls, so they're going to try to chase him down, I guess. After he went inside, they're now reacquiring their target and their way in. So I've walled off this side, this side, this side, and then we have a choke point up here to the northwest. And yeah, these guys are going to be fighting these insects. So this raid is definitely going to be a pretty free raid. I'm not sure why Rusty's actually attacking one of our walls. This guy's actually made his way in, and Tyler actually got hit. And Technobot actually might be able to repair him. I'm not sure how the Technobit actually works with that. Let's put Tyler right next to the Technobot, and we're going to enable the Technobits. And yeah, it actually did repair Tyler. It costed 5 mana though. And we did put points in a repair protocol, so it's costing less mana to perform repairs. Oh, and then here comes Oleg. The dude is really wounded. We actually kind of just want to let him bleed. He had 6 hours left and he was a caster. If we let that guy bleed out, we could have captured him and sold him off for a nice profit. But yeah, so I think I pinpointed the problem. I also have a couple mods that I found out are incompatible. Mainly one of them is Save Our Ship 2, and I tried removing it. That was a bad idea, and it generated a ton of errors. What I'm thinking here is I'm going to clean up my mod list and export all these characters without their gear. I'm going to remove those few mods that are incompatible, and I'm going to start a new playthrough with all the characters that we have so far. And I'll probably just end up fast forwarding through a lot of the early game, except for like when we're getting raided. So yeah, I think that's going to be my next RimWorld video. If you did like it, then drop a like. With that, I do want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.